The night before our wedding, my fiancée Olivia spent the night with her first love. Yeah, the whole night. When I found out, I didn't cry, I didn't scream, I just smirked. Tomorrow's wedding would still happen. But the bride? She'd be someone else. The next morning, as our wedding car took a different turn, my best man glanced around confused. "This isn't the way to Olivia's house," he said. I looked out at the clear blue sky and replied calmly, "I'm not marrying her. I've decided to let myself go." His mood instantly lifted. He never liked Olivia anyway. All those designer bags and dresses, wasn't that your money, Ethan? You gave her everything, man. How could she do that to you the night before the wedding? He was furious on my behalf, but also kind of relieved. So wait, if you're not going to Olivia's, who are you marrying? I smiled, thinking of her. A face from my past. Chloe. A girl I hadn't spoken to in years. Back in high school, when I refused to help a bully cheat and got beat up for it, it was Chloe who stepped in. She'd always seemed quiet, a bit distant, but strong. Recently, I'd heard her parents were pressuring her to marry someone she didn't want. That was our first real conversation. We understood each other instantly. So, yeah, it felt right. The way to pick her up, I opened Facebook. Pure curiosity. Olivia had just posted a video, all dolled up in her childhood bedroom, waiting for me. The caption read, "I'm a coward. I chose stability over love. Goodbye, my love." And right. Below it, Jason, her first love, and commented, "I won't give up on you. I'll prove my love to the world," I scoffed. They really thought they were the stars of some dramatic love story. But me? I was done playing the fool. Just then, my phone rang. It was Olivia. Her voice, as always, was smug. "Ethan, where are you? Do you know how long my bridesmaids and I have been waiting? If you're not here in 10 minutes, I'm calling this whole thing off." In the background, I could hear her friends laughing, mocking me. Before I could respond, she hung up. I shook my head. Even now, she thought she had the upper hand. Meanwhile, Jason was planning to crash the wedding. I chuckled. He had no idea Olivia wouldn't be the one walking down the aisle. When we arrived at Chloe's house, she was already in her wedding dress, simple, elegant, and breathtaking. She sat alone, no bridesmaids, no silly games, just her, calm, waiting. Then she held out her hand and said softly, "Husband, let's go." For a second, I swore her usual quiet gaze sparkled just a little. I saw the white heels placed neatly beside her and instinctively knelt to help her put them on. She tried to stand up herself, but I stopped her. "Regretting this?" she asked, a little tense. "No," I said. "I'll carry you." As I lifted her in my arms and walked toward the car, Olivia called again. I answered, keeping my voice steady. "Ethan, what's wrong with you today? Are you seriously this slow? You know it's our wedding day." I took a breath. "You really think this wedding is still happening?" She didn't even pause. "If you're late, you'll need to give each of my bridesmaids $10,000 in red envelopes. Otherwise, I'm not marrying you." In the background, her friends jeered. "Yeah, Ethan, a wedding only happens once. How can we hand Olivia over to a man who won't even give 10 grand? Olivia chimed back in, full of contempt. "Don't disappoint me. If you do, I'm done." I replied lightly. "Then I guess you're done." She snapped. "What kind of attitude is that? Don't play games with me, Ethan. If you want to marry me, you'll kneel at my door and beg." Click. She hung up. Chloe, sitting beside me, heard everything. She raised an eyebrow and smirked. "Your taste in women used to be terrible." I shrugged. What could I say? She wasn't wrong. I messaged my parents to tell them the bride had changed. They were shocked, sure. But when I told them why, they were furious at Olivia and fully supportive. At the wedding, we walked down the aisle together in a hotel ballroom in Chicago. I imagined Olivia back at home, waiting for me to show up and grovel like I used to. But that Ethan, the one who loved her so blindly, was gone. People whispered, especially Olivia's relatives. But my parents handled everything gracefully. When Chloe and I were exchanging rings, Jason actually burst in. "Olivia, don't marry Ethan. We're the real thing." He froze mid-step. Saw Chloe standing beside me. "What?" "Wrong wedding," I said flatly. Then I kicked him out, literally. Jason never was much of a fighter. I looked him straight in the eye, cold and calm. "I don't want Olivia anymore. If you want her, take her. That trash is yours now." I turned toward Chloe, ready to slip the ring on her finger, when suddenly the doors of the wedding hall flew open. There she was. Olivia burst in barefoot, her wedding dress tangled around her legs, veil lost somewhere along the way. Her hair was a mess. Her face pale, eyes red-rimmed and wide with disbelief. She stumbled forward, then back like she couldn't trust what she was seeing. Me, standing at the altar, next to another woman. Her voice cracked, trembling as she cried, "Ethan, the bride today should be me. How could you marry someone else? How could this happen? I want an explanation." Her parents and brother stormed in behind her, faces twisted in fury. "That's right," her father barked. "How dare you treat Olivia like this? I'll skin you alive today." The only one who seemed genuinely happy was Jason. "Olivia, I made it! I'm not too late," he shouted, grinning. "You're not Ethan's bride yet. Come on, get away from him." But Olivia shoved his hand aside. Her eyes never left mine. She looked like a woman who'd been wronged, like a lover begging for answers. I almost laughed. It was her who cheated. The night before our wedding, I squeezed Chloe's hand. "Why are you here, Olivia? Shouldn't you be resting? I heard last night's activities left you pretty worn out." Her face drained of color instantly. She realized I'd seen everything, even the Facebook post she had tried to delete. No, Ethan. You misunderstood. I was just catching up with an old friend." I let out a bitter laugh. "Right, just catching up in a hotel room. Catching up in a... You're so full of it. You want to be with the man you love, but don't want to suffer with him. You want security, but want to keep playing both sides. You're selfish, Olivia, and frankly, disgusting." My voice trembled with emotion. Anger. Yes, but more than that, pain. Pain from once loving her so deeply. Chloe's hand tightened around mine, grounding me. When I looked into her eyes, she gave me a small nod, full of quiet strength. I smiled back, assuring her I was okay. Then I pulled out the receipts. Literally. I played the hotel surveillance footage for everyone to see, Olivia and Jason entering and leaving the same hotel room last night. Alongside that, I read aloud the full caption of her deleted Facebook post. Everyone heard it, including her family. One of the Miller relatives muttered under their breath, "You really need to discipline your daughter. How could she act so shamelessly?" Another added, "This isn't a wedding banquet, it's a public humiliation." One by one, they turned and left. Disgusted, ashamed. "Ethan, please," Olivia sobbed. "Don't be like this." I was confused. I made a mistake. Let's just finish the wedding. I swear I'll never speak to Jason again. She threw herself at me, clutching my arms. I stepped back and pushed her away. "It's too late, Olivia. I don't love you anymore. You're free now. Go enjoy it." Still crying, she refused to let go. That's when Chloe stepped between us. "Miss Miller," Chloe said firmly, "please, have some self-respect. Ethan is my husband now. You didn't cherish him when you had the chance, and now you want forgiveness. You don't deserve it." Olivia shook her head violently. "No. We've been together for so long. He has to love me. He wouldn't be so cruel otherwise." She turned her fury to Chloe. "It's you! You seduced him! If it weren't for you, this wouldn't have happened." She whipped around to Jason. "Tell him, Jason. Tell Ethan there's nothing between us. Help me fix this." She grabbed his hand like a drowning woman grabbing a life raft. Jason just looked at her, awkward and unsure. What could he say? That they only shared a blanket and a hotel bed and nothing happened? Her father had finally had enough. Smack. The slap echoed through the hall. Mr. Miller's face was livid. Olivia, enough! She stumbled to the floor in shock, still in her wedding dress. You've been spoiled your whole life, but even you should know better than this. Instead of reflecting on your actions, you're blaming everyone else? She screamed at him, in disbelief. Dad, what's wrong with you? Are you going senile? This wedding was supposed to be mine. Then she glared at Chloe again. It's her fault! That vixen seduced Ethan. I stepped forward. Olivia, shut up. Chloe didn't seduce me. I chose her. I wanted to marry her. Someone like you doesn't deserve to be my wife. Dream on. She looked like she'd been hit again. Maybe it finally sank in. I was serious. She remembered the nights I'd driven across Chicago at 3 a.m. just because she felt like having lobster, only for her to feed it to her dog because she'd changed her mind. Back then, I was probably worth less than that dog to her. I motioned to the security team. Get her out of here, don't let her ruin my wedding. She refused to leave, kept wailing. That's when my mom lost it. She stormed down the aisle, grabbed Olivia by the hair and yelled, Who do you think you are? We treated you like family, and this is how you repay us? Cheating the night before the wedding, then showing up like a victim? My mother, usually so calm, so composed, slapped her. Not once, but several times. Mom, I'm sorry, Olivia cried. We didn't do anything. I just wanted to see Jason one last time before I married Ethan. I was going to cut off all ties, I swear. Jason, tell them. She turned to Jason like he was her final hope. The aftermath, my mom wasn't having it. Her voice cut sharp through the tension. Just a meeting? Who are you kidding? Don't call me Mom. You're not qualified to be the daughter-in-law of the Hayes family. And with that, Olivia was finally dragged away by her family, screaming, crying, and defeated. My wedding with Chloe continued as if nothing had happened. That evening, after sending off the last of the guests, I returned to the bridal suite. Chloe was already there, sitting quietly on the edge of the bed, waiting for me. Her cheeks were slightly flushed, probably from the red wine she'd had during the reception. Under the soft bedroom lights, she looked breathtaking in a way that caught me completely off guard. Thank you. For today, I said sincerely. She smiled. No, I should be the one thanking you. Now my parents won't pester me about getting married anymore. Something about her voice, her posture, that shy smile, it all made my heart skip. I suddenly couldn't look her in the eye. I'll sleep in the guest room, I mumbled, grabbing a quilt and practically fleeing the room in embarrassment. The next morning, just as the sunlight began streaming through the windows, Olivia showed up. She'd found the bridal home, the house I had once lovingly prepared for her. She opened the door, probably expecting to see me and rekindle some old warmth. And then she saw Chloe standing behind me, barefoot in slippers, clearly at home. The joy in Olivia's eyes died instantly. Her face twisted with disbelief. Ethan, isn't this our home? She asked, voice trembling. How could you bring her here? I frowned. The sight of her now only filled me with disgust. The love I once had for her had long turned to ash. Olivia, get it straight. We have nothing between us anymore. Chloe is my wife. I took Chloe's hand, held it up, and let our matching wedding bands speak for themselves. But Olivia wouldn't. Quit! She shoved past me and stormed inside like a woman possessed, her tears already falling. This is our home! We picked out this furniture together, she wailed. How could you let another woman, her, live here? She looked around as if the walls themselves had betrayed her. Make her leave, she sobbed. She's no good. I knew she had her eyes on you all along. I cut her off, tired of her delusion. Enough, Olivia. You cheated. What's the point of saying all this now? We're over. Completely. Tears brimmed in her eyes, but this time I didn't feel a thing. I don't accept this, she cried. I know you're still angry, but... Ethan, you married her just to get back at me, right? Please stop pretending. I know you still love me. You're just trying to hurt me. Chloe, who had been quiet all this time, suddenly stepped forward. She scoffed. Ethan, Sometimes I honestly admire you. Where did you find such a shameless ex-girlfriend? Olivia, you're the one who wanted to play both sides, and now you have the audacity to act like the victim? Her tone hardened. Let me make this clear. Ethan is my husband now. If you ever come near him again, I won't be so polite. And just like that, Chloe rolled up her sleeves, grabbed Olivia, who was still sobbing and screaming, and dragged her out the door. I stood frozen. I'd always seen Chloe as a quiet, gentle academic, a researcher through and through, but this fierce, protective side of her, I hadn't expected it. And somehow, I liked it. Chloe slammed the door shut, only then realizing I was still standing. There. She blushed furiously. Sorry, she said, flustered. I got too angry and lost control. I smiled. It's okay, Chloe. Honestly, I think this side of you is kind of cute. Her face turned an even deeper shade of red. Are you hungry? She asked quickly. I'll go make dinner. Outside, Olivia was still banging on the door like a madwoman. I sighed and called property management. Security removed her again. That night I got a text from her. Since you're so heartless, fine. I'll marry Jason. Ethan, I swear you'll regret this for the rest of your life. I stared at the message and couldn't help but laugh. How could she still be this delusional? Still trying to play games? She was malicious and stupid. Women, like her, selfish to the core, never see themselves as the problem. No matter how deeply they wound others, they always find a way to paint themselves innocent. I felt sick just thinking about her. Day 3 of marriage. On the third day after our wedding, Chloe and I visited her parents. They were both professors at top universities, intelligent, respected people. Even though this was a marriage of convenience, I felt a little nervous, but surprisingly, they welcomed me with open arms. Ethan, her father said kindly, we only have Chloe. Knowing she's with someone like you, we're at ease. Her mother smiled warmly. You don't know how often Chloe used to mention you. Chloe's eyes widened, and she quickly cut in. Mom, why are you saying that? But when her gaze met mine, she looked away, her cheeks flushing. Even if our marriage had started from an agreement, I'd made sure it had everything a real marriage should have. I respected her. I supported her. I even gave her parents a betrothal gift, $50,000, because Chloe, no matter how this began, deserved to be cherished. And somewhere deep down, I had a feeling this wasn't just going to be a convenient arrangement anymore. After that emotional dinner with her parents, I decided to take Chloe to a jewelry store on Michigan Avenue to pick out new wedding rings, rings that truly belonged to us. When Chloe saw a diamond ring priced at $20,000, she hesitated, shaking her head. Ethan, isn't this ring too expensive? Maybe I shouldn't buy it. Don't waste the money. I think my current ring is fine. No, I said gently, brushing her concerns aside. This ring is beautiful. It's worth it. For my wife. Besides, you're my wife now. Doesn't a husband earn money to spend on his wife? My words made Chloe laugh, her eyes shining under the store lights. But then, from the counter next to us, we heard familiar voices, Olivia and Jason. Chloe and I turned instinctively. There she was, Olivia, wearing a diamond ring much smaller than the one Chloe was holding. Jason stood beside her, visibly annoyed and fidgeting with his phone. Olivia, this ring is too expensive, he muttered. Just this tiny thing cost $2,000. This store's practically robbing people. The fight. Nearby clerk's face darkened. Sir, she snapped, watch your language. What do you mean robbing people? The gentleman next to you is happily buying his wife a $20,000 ring, and you're complaining about a $2,000 one? That's hardly fair. The clerk was clearly displeased and eyeing me and Chloe as the dream customers, her commission likely, running through her mind. Jason and Olivia turned their heads. Olivia's eyes locked on the sparkling ring in Chloe's hand. And then, as if slapped across the face by reality, her expression crumbled. "Ethan," she said angrily, "don't go too far." I looked at her, baffled. I hadn't even spoken to her. I was just here with Chloe, buying my wife a ring. "You're just trying to humiliate me, aren't you?" Olivia burst out. "You know Jason can't afford a ring like that, so you deliberately bought an expensive one for Chloe to spite me." I couldn't help but laugh. The contempt in my eyes was unhidden. "Olivia, you're too self-centered. Who do you think you are? What does it matter to you if I buy my wife a ring?" Without another word, I pulled out my black card and handed it to the salesperson. As the transaction went through, Olivia's gaze never left Chloe's hand. Her expression twisted into one of resentment and disbelief. She turned to me, eyes glassy. "Ethan, are you really going to treat me like this?" she whispered. "If you keep this up, I'll never forgive you." I wrapped my arm around Chloe's waist and stared at Olivia coldly. "What's that got to do with me?" Olivia bit her lip so hard it bled. Then, seemingly desperate, she turned to Jason. "Buy it. I want this ring. Buy it for me." Jason's brows furrowed. "Olivia, don't be willful. This ring is too expensive. Didn't my mom say she kept her wedding gold and it's still valuable? What's so great about this ring? It's just a stone." Olivia, humiliated, snapped, "Enough! You keep saying you love me but won't even buy me a ring. Why don't you just marry your mom?" Jason didn't budge. No matter how Olivia protested, he wouldn't give in. After all, his mother, Mrs. Peterson, had already told him Olivia's reputation was tarnished, and he was doing her a favor by marrying her. To demand gold and jewelry? Too greedy. That evening, I took Chloe to my parents' house for dinner. They adored her. My mom even said, "Finally, you've got some taste." Chloe, slightly tipsy from the wine, clung to me on the way home. I carried her upstairs, her head resting on my shoulder. "Ethan," she murmured, voice slow and drunken. "Do you know what I am?" I paused. "What are you?"